nephew, so now niece.
We're good?
We're rolling?
All right, hold on. Let me get my crap out the way. All right. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Ready?
All right. Welcome to Knowledge to Currency, where knowledge is power and currency is your king. I'm your host, Senator Porter, and today we have David and Jason from Swan Flat Luxury Containers. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Wow.
Hi, Senator.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you both for coming on the show. This has been in the works probably 90 days, something like that. And lots have changed with you guys in 90 days, right?
Yes.
So first off, what is Swan Flats Luxury Containers? Let's talk about that first.
Yeah. We are a luxury container company here in San Diego,
Okay.
based up in North County. We design and manufacture and install luxury containers. We turn them into beautiful living spaces, affordable living spaces for people to own and
Right.
use them for a various, numerous reasons. So it's kind of the gist.
So for both of you guys, we were talking before the show. I'm passionate about helping people find ways to make extra revenue income so that they don't have to leave California, because I believe California is a wonderful place,
Yes, sir.
but it's an expensive place. How do you feel that this is an opportunity to help people do that?
You want me to take that?
Yeah, go ahead. He's
Yeah.
good at that.
I mean, look, I don't want to leave California either. I
Right.
want my family to stay here. I want my kids to stay here. It is a beautiful state. It's actually, we have the best weather. I've traveled all over the world. This is the best weather to
Yes.
come back to.
I agree.
It's beautiful people, beautiful place. The affordability has gotten out of control for sure. So these units, allow you to create some income, right? You can put one of these units in the back of your property, in even a small property, smaller lot. These will fit in there. We have 20 by 8 version. We have a 40-foot container. We have a 20-foot container. So we have different options that can fit in your backyard, and they can turn into revenue. They can be a short-term or long-term rental. Mostly seeing long-term rentals
Right.
on this stuff.
So when we were kind of talking before, a lot of people, like my friend Chris Luna, he has his branding is the Backyard Billionaire, because there's billions of dollars in folks' backyards.
Oh, yeah.
And with San Diego, we have a affordability problem and a housing shortage.
Yes.
So I see your company as a solution to help kind of solve that gap. And it's affordable compared to a stick-built and a modular. I feel like modular gets a bad rap. That is like almost like a double-wide trailer type of rep. So I like that you say that it's luxury. In your opinion, what stick-built versus modular? Why do you prefer modular? Because you obviously went into that type of industry.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, so I was originally going to do a custom ADU company. Okay. Stick built. So we have a property in Bonsall where that was going to be our showroom. We built a tree house,
Okay.
175,000, still not done. We built what was supposed to be a Hobbit, but the wall got too high, so I changed it to a storybook.
Okay.
So these were all very creative ADUs. Our modern, so the house is more of a hacienda style, right? Southern California, you should be able to enjoy the weather, indoor, outdoor concept. And then I matched another guest house to the hacienda. That was the casita.
Okay.
So more of a Mexican, Spanish style, right? Old world storybook, fun tree house. Our modern concept was the container.
Okay.
After spending all the money on the stick built, the container, we finished 90 days.
Yep.
So
90 days
time
was
Completed.
cheaper,
Yeah.
easier. It's 20 by 8, so you can't go crazy with floor plan and all these customizations.
Mhm.
And so we decided to create this company and just focus on the container concept.
So why you think, in your opinion, or humble opinion, why you think that modular gets a bad rap when, in the end of the day, it's all just a box that we live in, if you think about it? So why do you think they get a bad rep?
Typically because of the quality of the work.
Okay.
I think that normally is from what I can tell. It's the quality of the work, materials that are used, and that's why we're taking the approach that we're delivering high-end quality craftsmanship, high-end materials at affordable pricing. And that's our focus, is how do we capture the luxury, feel, look, that whole world that everybody really wants,
Right.
and get it at affordable pricing and create affordable rents. Right? Create affordable rents. You talked about the housing crisis. This is a big reason why we're passionate about what we're doing here. This is a huge opportunity to create, I mean, tons of living. There's only two ways to go. One is you're going up, which they just approved in a lot of the major cities here to build higher, right, and go into city mode. Or people can leverage their backyards. They can turn our units into income and solve the housing crisis.
Right.
I mean, you got a double win, and the city solves their problem, so it's a win-win-win. Anytime you have three wins,
Home run.
it's a home run. Yeah,
and
if three
there are-
wins are there,
And there are
it's a
options
home
for
run.
cheap containers. Okay, they're out there.
Okay.
If someone's looking to go very bare bones cheap, we have companies for them. We want to be that luxury affordable. So what that means is you won't see an accordion door on a prefab detached mobile style home, right?
Got you.
Our doors are accordion. Okay, for under 100,000, you only see accordion doors on multi-million-dollar properties. Okay, so our two openings in our studio model are accordion. So do you know what accordion?
Yeah, but it means
The
it moves.
bifold,
Correct.
right? Beautiful floor to ceiling, all open. So you get the natural light, and then once it's open space on the side where the container doors are. We replace that with an accordion, and then the front is another accordion. But the entire front of the container is all double tempered glass.
That sounds nice. And then how many people could live in one of them, I guess?
The studio model is ideal for one. So that would be ideal for one. If you're our size, maybe two.
Yeah, I mean, you could take the Murphy bed out and you could put a queen futon in there, and two people could sleep in there. Two people could stay in there comfortably. They'd create a little patio and a little indoor-outdoor living style. Very, very doable. Typically, most people are going with our 2-unit setup, which is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. That gives a full master bedroom and a full living space, another bathroom.
And that's a
Right.
queen, full-size queen
Yeah,
bed.
yeah.
Our studio is just a full.
For $99K.
Wow.
Yeah, and that gives you can't get a full 1-bedroom, 1-bath for $99K in San Diego.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Not
so,
at all.
So a lot of the ways also to look at this is we're able to create first-time home buyers to
Yeah,
be able to buy
absolutely.
maybe a piece of property, a piece of land, and then throw a couple of these on there to get as a starter home. Then you could add to them as you want more space. So there's a number of ways to look at this product.
I mean, we know what the median price in San Diego is right now.
Oh, yeah.
Did it finally come under $1 million? Or are we still at $1 million?
It's 859,
Like, yeah, I think it's in the
900.
high eights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had some land or you had a backyard, reach out to you folks. You go and how's that process work? Would you come assess the property, or how would it work?
So yes, there's a site visit.
Okay.
So from there, we determine how many, what you're trying to accomplish, right?
Right.
I've been in real estate 15 years, so I understand septic, sewer, setbacks, the basics to make sure the property is going to qualify and that we can do the job, because some we can't get the container in if there's power lines.
Gotcha.
So we've lost some deals just because we couldn't crane it. You can't crane over power lines. If there's no power lines, crane is usually possible unless it's a huge span of distance to a rear backyard. But we can go pretty far with a crane. And then ideally, you have access to the truck to back in. We just take a forklift, take the container off the truck, drop it right on a slab, or you can do piers, so that's your foundation options.
Okay.
So we build the container, we deliver it and everything, but as far as the site prep, I can coordinate that, but those are subcontractors. So we're using Bob's Crane for the crane.
Yeah, we have an outfit for the concrete.
Concrete.
Right, yeah.
His electrician.
Yeah. So we have the subs to just get everybody moved smooth through the process. And look, most homeowners don't want to deal with the headache. They don't want to deal with anything.
And a permit
If
team.
they're anything like me, they don't want. Yeah, they don't want to deal with any of it.
Both of us.
Yeah, both of us. Yeah,
We love
I just want
delegating.
streamlined system, and that's what we're creating for the homeowner. And then with our relationships at the permitting level and that whole side of things, we assess the permitting, making sure that the unit can be permitted in that area if that's the path we're going down, right? And so those conversations happen at the site visit.
Is the permitting for modular different than stick built, or it's the same process, like the time frame and all that stuff?
It's just what it's framed under.
Okay.
So we have our modular approval in the state of California.
Okay.
And if we secure
The site gets permitted.
the site
The
gets
site itself gets permitted for a modular built home.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Right.
and then you drop the modular built home that's approved in the state of California.
Okay.
That's how it works, and that's what our unit is.
And then because you guys built it already, it's already together.
It's already to code.
Speed
It's
is-
already to It's already
It's-
Title
it's
24
been
approved.
inspected.
Yes.
just like a stick built. There's a rough, there's a final. Our manufacturer's down in Mexico, so we have a firm that comes down and inspects the entire process, signs off on it. It's approved, then it gets shipped
Yeah.
to the site.
Let's talk about that. So your quality is top level because of the workers that you have in Mexico. How'd you find them? How'd you vet them?
So the other piece of the luxury, not just the accordion, but all our woodwork is all custom.
You know, mahogany, custom wood, all high-end materials throughout the whole unit. Custom bath, shower. I mean, it's
Custom
all
tile.
Yeah, so it's
Nice.
got the look and feel of.
And we work with the customer on color, what kind of composition they want with colors, flooring,
Nice.
exterior. Most of our customers are going matte black, but there's color options. We're just not trying to do 5,000 square foot container builds in Del Mar. That's not our market.
Gotcha.
Because we have had some of those inquiries asking us to build custom. We have our studio model. Dave referenced our bedroom. We can add the bedroom. We have different configurations. We're working on a larger, more single family style container build, but that's not going to be 3,000 square feet. I think our biggest was
It'll be about 720 max.
what was the 960? That was adding.
Yeah, that was adding a couple more. So yeah, but we're looking at a couple options, and we want to be able to fill super simple voids that are in the market right now. And
Minimalist.
Yeah.
Everyone, not everyone, but there's a huge segment looking to downsize, just live
Yeah.
a simpler life.
more moderate life. Yeah.
Could you put, I guess, more units together, like buying them separately and maybe like stack them or put them by each other? Maybe not
So
make
you
a bigger
can
one?
weld them together as one structure, and that would be considered all that square footage together as one. So that's what he was talking about, taking a 40 footer, maybe welding two 20 footers together, and that would be your 720 square feet or so.
Okay.
So there are different configurations. We're trying to stay just simple, modular, deliver it to your backyard,
In and out.
drop it in with a crane or a forklift, and you're in there and turning and making money pretty quickly. You can get it a rental, listed immediately after it's delivered.
The reason why I asked, because years ago I worked in lending. I had a guy call me from Seattle, and he was like a tech guy, and he had all this land like over by Bill Gates, and he literally bought the property and then built containers before like that was a thing, because this would have been like probably 2009, right? So he said, yeah, I bought these containers. I stacked them on top of one another. So I guess he built one, then he built another one, and he built another one, and kind of like almost like if you think of a fan.
Yeah.
And then he put stairwell in there.
Yeah.
And when he was explaining it to me, I'm talking to him over the phone because I'm in Minnesota. He's in Seattle.
Yeah.
So then after you do the application and we appraised the property, and when I got the appraisal back, it was like nothing I never seen before. But You know, he was a wealthy guy,
Yeah.
and that place appraised for like $3 million
Wow. Yeah.
because of the land and
Yeah. And
So-
the customness and the uniqueness to the property
Right.
and the build.
and it was
Yeah.
done right. Like he,
I mean,
got
there's
the
some
right
beautiful
architect.
container home builds. And look, containers are just another way to build a structure. It is a more solid foundation than wood, and it's
Right.
steel, and it's being more heavily adopted every day. And each jurisdiction is coming on board with it.
Right.
It's where it's at. It's just kind of a newer look and a newer feel, but they're clean. They're easy to come in and out of. They could be portable. You could even put them on wheels,
Sure,
right? They could be considered as a tiny home.
sure.
So you
Everyone
can do
has the image of the rusted container sitting on that property that you don't want to be neighbors to.
True.
Yeah, yeah, and that's not this.
That's
No,
not. That's
no, these are
definitely not
one-trip
this.
containers from overseas that are certified to be used for modular building, right? And everything's followed from step A to Z by the book,
Right.
and that's the key. We just want to do this right and do it one time.
And you guys build them by hand, right?
Each one of them by hand. That's right.
Yes.
Cut, fabricated,
Yep.
the woodwork, the tile work, everything is completed. So it's just the rough plumbing, electrical. You're just connecting once it's dropped. So depending how quick you can get the people out there, I mean, you could be hooked up at the end of the day.
Yep.
In the afternoon.
Let's talk about that. So you guys get it built by hand in Mexico, and then you guys bring it back across the border
Yep.
yourselves. Like, how's that go?
Well, it's insured from our factory to the border, and then it's insured on this side from here to our customer's house. And we meet at the customer's place and watch that unit get dropped and help coordinate and watch how excited they are. So it's a pretty cool process,
Right.
To see that happen. Yeah, from A to Z.
It's almost like ordering a Tesla or something.
Yeah. Well, see, look, and that's how our website will be, where you can order these online, where you'll be able to go model, our U model, our L model, our I model, and that's it. Boom, boom, boom. That's to get it to that point. That would be the end goal,
Right.
and we streamline that process.
And it sounds
Deliver these
like
all over the country.
it's like half the price of a traditional ADU. Right.
We are about half the price from what I can see compared to a stick build.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, as far as, are you guys like one of the top companies in San Diego now?
We're one of the few.
I've
I don't
been
know
there.
top, but we are one of the few companies doing this here in San Diego.
There's no one doing luxury.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I've
there's a
never
couple
seen-
other companies selling containers and kind of building them out, but these are ready to go. Our friend Devin likes to say our pop and drop unit.
Love Devin.
Yeah, our pop and drop unit is
Right.
what he came up with. So, that's our goal, is to make them really simple, easy, and get them on people's properties quickly. Start generating revenue. That's the goal.
Right. So what would you say like your target audience is at the moment in San Diego specifically? Because I'm assuming you guys could really do this anywhere in the country, but you want to focus.
The city of San Diego is very lenient on the tiny homes and the ADU laws. County is a little bit more strict, and so we're going through the processes of each one of the jurisdictions. If you have a lot, if you have a single family home that has a little bit of property that can fit a 20 or 40-foot container, you're a perfect candidate. You need 4-foot clearance from the walls, not a ton of really prep and stuff there. We have the ability to put the foundation in for you. Work with when we have all the subs and everything to help you build it out. I'm not worried about the qualifying people. I think there's plenty of opportunities.
It's really everybody.
It's everybody here with a piece of property where this can fit, and they want to use it as an income stream,
Right.
and build value in
even
their
though
home.
it's not allowed, the HOA, type communities are pushing back. So I wouldn't say that's really somewhere we're targeting for now.
Right.
Every other property, our prototype is on an 8,000 square foot lot. Where there's already a studio,
Right.
stick built, main house, and it's just a showroom. So
Sure.
bear in mind the permit process is if you're going to be renting it out, then you need to go through the proper avenue to get that permitted with the city to rent it out to a long-term renter.
Yeah, which we have all that in place.
Right.
But the reason we've dropped it on that property specifically is because we wanted to show it could be done on an 8,000-foot lot, right? We wanted to show that it could be done in a regular residential. You don't need an acre. You don't need a half acre. You don't need two. You can do it on a regular residential lot. And quite honestly, if it was even 6,000 or 4,000 square feet, we probably could still fit that unit on there.
We're doing one in
there's
Chula Vista at
right.
2,000.
Yeah, exactly. So there's plenty of space.
Right.
So 2,000 to, I'd say if you have you tell a minimum lot size, because that's really, and have a backyard.
As long as there's a sewer connection
Yeah,
and utilities, that's the issue, is just septic
Yeah.
with a small lot.
Yeah.
If there's a sewer connection, I mean, we're 160 square feet. So.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
So then, like you said, so if you're renting it out, you got to do the permitting. But if you, like we talked about, if you had family members, like my friend, his mom, she was an empty nester. She's getting older. So his mother-in-law ended up moving in with them.
Yep.
And that's a situation where you can build something for the mother-in-law, right?
There is, and actually in that specific case, you could maybe do what's called a healthcare permit. There's different permits and different things that you can do to expedite the process, and taking care of a loved one or nursing for a loved one, that falls under that
And
category.
that's over the counter.
Yeah.
One day.
A 1-day permit for
Wow.
that. So there are some cool processes they're putting in place to expedite. Yes, for your mother-in-law, a guest, somebody coming to stay. You have a family member, you have a kid, who doesn't want to pay rent out there. You get a unit for $59K, put it on your property, get them in there, get them paying you rent.
Right.
Get them learning how to understand how to buy their first piece of real estate.
Right.
Pay it off within 2-3 years. Take that equity, take it into the next one. I mean, that's what we're teaching, right?
That's really smart.
Yeah.
So then in that situation, if the mother-in-law passed away, do you have to go then get permitted to do the other way?
It depends what the use is going to be.
Yeah, it depends
Right.
on what the
So
use
that's
is
why
for.
on the
Yes.
site visit.
Yeah. All that's determined.
First,
Okay.
what is your use, right?
Right.
What is your objective
Yeah.
on working with us? Once we understand the objective, we can steer them in the right
Yeah, an
direction.
office doesn't need to be permitted, for example. If
Oh,
it's
really?
not habitable,
We
yeah.
just set up an office.
If
in
it's
North
not
San
habitable
Diego.
and no one's staying in it, and it's used as an office and a showroom,
She wants to be out of the house.
yeah,
but
she wants her own office.
That's legal.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
100%.
So that I didn't even know that. So that's
Yep.
good for people to know. So
Use it as a pool house, man
Pool
cave,
house,
all
man
kinds
cave,
of cool
she
stuff with
shed.
it. Yeah,
We've sold a few of those.
okay. So if you want to have it for your workout facility,
however you'd like to set it up for. Yep, a number.
poker room?
There are so many uses for it. It's
You're not going to get 20 people in our 20-footer, but
yeah. You could have maybe an eight poker room, an eight
Yeah.
person game. Yeah. With a little deck.
You need a couple fishes though.
Yeah, you need a deck, a big opening.
So
yeah, that's the process, and that's kind of the system. And we have financing for the units, so we do have some financing that we can talk about if that's.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So you got someone coming in. Do they have to put down a down payment or a deposit, or how does the finance part work?
So we require $1,000 deposit. That's just a little skin in the game, but it gets everybody into the action. We've got we have a couple different finance options. One of them is called HFS. We just started using them. They're mostly unsecured loans.
Okay.
We're looking for some more lenders that will put a second, maybe use this as a second. So we're exploring more and more options on the lending side, but we do have.
So that's the personal, but you can do a HELOC.
Yeah, you can do a
Right.
HELOC. Yeah.
Okay.
The seconds would be awesome, especially if there was a nice equity play there.
Sure.
They were doing seconds back in the last housing boom.
Right.
So there's a little bad taste from how that all went down.
Right, but if they're doing it and reinvesting into something that was yielding income,
That was
right?
just a second
that
with
was
a
just
separate
horrible.
lender.
Yeah, what were they
Yeah.
using the money
was-
for? Was not the right reason.
These are good. So I
Right.
think there are going to be some lenders coming into this space
I do
offering
too.
seconds with it attached to the property as real estate, because you could even refi out of it once it's delivered.
Yep.
Right.
And when
you
you
could do
reassess,
the second.
yeah.
You could jumbo it together, merge the loans, and just
Okay.
refinance out of it, right, and just go back to a first.
So basically, how you're explaining it, though, because if I already have a house, and let's say my rate's 3% on a 30,
Yep.
but I have like
400, 5,000
500,000
in equity.
So you're saying let's out the door is 150,000.
Yep.
Or maybe more. I don't know, but let's
Yeah,
just
but that's
use
our
that
two
number.
bedroom, our two bedroom.
To me, that's
Yeah.
a HELOC.
So I get a
Yeah.
HELOC for 150 against my current home.
Yep.
Pay you guys, you get everything finished, and then I can start renting it out and then start paying off the HELOC.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. And pay that
Okay.
off as quickly as you can.
And then because it's tied to the first house, if I build this on the lot, does that affect my mortgage company or anything? Like, will they say anything that I built this unit on there?
The mortgage company?
Yeah. Does it affect my value? Does it have anything?
I mean, it is, if you are securing it to a foundation and you get it permitted.
Yeah, you get reassessed. Well, you can get the whole property
Well,
reassessed,
you
and the
get
value could be there.
reassessed based on the value of the unit.
Okay.
So the 59K, I mean, that's, you know.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, we're just using basic. So my house is worth $850. I borrow the HELOC. You guys do your thing, build a unit in the back.
Yeah, let's just do 100, right?
Okay. Yeah. So then now is my house worth 100,000 more or even more because I built this unit, or does my value stay the same? Because from what it sounds like, the HELOC has nothing to do with that unit. They don't even know I'm building it. I'm just getting a HELOC versus my house, paying you guys, and then I get it all built. I guess when I sell the house,
You'd have to get it reappraised. Yeah, it'd have to get reappraised. And yeah,
Gotcha.
when you sell the house, obviously the value would be there, and it's a permitted unit.
Gotcha.
Right. That's when the real value in there. But you could reappraise at the time.
The resale is depending on the market
Yeah,
at the
the market
time.
condition too.
But as far as it would only be triggered if you go through the permit process, then of course the county is going to want.
proof of
Yeah.
all the work is done properly.
They're
So
gonna want
they're
their
gonna
money.
value it like they
Gotcha.
do, but it's
Yeah, they're going to basically want their money.
So then it could change your taxes or something like
Right,
that because
right.
your value went up.
That's
Right.
right.
Gotcha.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes, sir.
And then there was another question I had about the where do you see the ADU industry going? Because I guess you guys are unique in San Diego.
exploding.
I think it's in its infancy stages. That's I
We're-
think that's
we're
one
at
of the
the
most exciting
beginning
part for
stages.
this whole journey right now is
Right.
just watching what's happening, and it's just right there. It's right there to just open up.
It's somewhat
It is.
overwhelming.
It is.
Really?
Well, we
there's-
go- we
think
go to
about
a-
how many homes are here and how
We
much
go to a site
opportunity.
visit, and all we do is look at the whole neighborhood. I mean,
Right.
that's what's going to start happening. You're already seeing it,
Right.
right? Oh, so and so is doing 2 ADUs. So the buzz is happening.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
But just
definitely
like
happening.
solar, how many homes have solar? Aren't we number one in the U.S.?
Yes, we are number one in the U.S. California is. Los Angeles, San Diego.
Okay.
Yes.
What percentage of homes have
I think
solar?
almost 20% now.
Wow, that's incredible. But still 80%. So
Hey,
how many?
why is my SDG&E keep going up if everybody got solar?
Oh, they have to continue to make more money.
Yeah.
The utility companies, that's never not
Yeah,
going to
they
go up.
sent a notice that
You don't have solar on your place. Well, then we'll need to talk.
ADU.
You don't have solar on your place.
No.
Okay, we'll talk about that after the show.
ADU has to be under 5%.
Yeah.
I would say.
Oh,
I
the
would-
ADU market is even less than that. I think.
I
I,
would
think
say-
it's at its
I would say
infancy
2 to
stages. I don't
3
know
at
the answer
most.
there, so I won't give you a number.
No, it's fine.
but
We're just
I think
talking.
we're at its infancy stages.
Okay.
But
and it's
it
exciting,
will.
right?
It
It's
will
exciting,
be at 20%.
yes.
So let's
Okay.
say we're at 5%, which I know we're not. We'll
Right.
verify that.
Okay.
How else are you going to solve the housing crisis here in San Diego? How else is this stuff going to happen? This is how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
This is the answer. This is one
Most
of
people
the
would
biggest
take
answers.
Right.
15%, uptick on their business, any business, right?
Oh yeah.
Mortgage. real estate.
Absolutely. That's a lot.
Not everybody wants to live in high rises either. They'd rather have their own space.
Sure.
That movement's happening.
You know, I think people just kind of want their own space.
Yeah. I mean, when I moved here from Tampa, I lived in Seaport Village, and there was a guy that rented to me, gave me a really good deal on a 2-bedroom, and he had bought the place because he was a Padres fan, and he used to live next door to Tony Hawk in Carlsbad. But he was older now, and he had hip surgery, so he didn't want to come down to the place anymore because he would literally go to the Padre game and then just spend the night there. So he was the only owner of the place. His renter left, and that guy that rented the place knew me. It's like, hey, I got a friend that just moved here that wants to rent.
Yeah.
So
took it.
me and him shook hands. Everything was great. There were people renovating upstairs, and my whole apartment flooded. So then I just moved here. I didn't know anybody. Tell him, I'm like, hey, well, what are we going to do? He's like, hey, don't worry. We'll make sure you got a place to stay. It'll probably take a month to get the place fixed up. But when you move in, it'll be all new. So I was like, okay. So then he would call me all the time to like meet with the assessors,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
insurance people.
Yeah.
And I'm meeting with the guy and we're talking. He's like, yeah, he doesn't have the right insurance. So you're going to have to pay for your own place to stay. I'm like, what?
Oh, insurance
So-
didn't cover that?
Yeah. So then me and the guy get into it. And I was like, well, you told me to my face that you're going to take care of me. Like, you got to honor your word, right? And he goes, how about this? I'll let you out your lease. So I'm like,
Oh, that doesn't help me now.
yeah. I'm like, so what,
Thanks.
what
Yeah,
am I-
thanks. I like the place too, actually. I wanted to live there.
So then I was
Jeez.
like, you know what, fine. So I move out. I go move to East Village. This time I move on the top floor. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not getting flooded no more.
Yeah.
And it's this loft. It's a luxury place, nice. No flooding, no issue. But then in that place, people will go party, come home, cook eggs,
Late.
freaking fire alarm go off.
Yeah, late. Nonsense.
And so now we all got to evacuate
Nonsense.
the
Oh,
building. So then I was
nonsense.
like, I'm
Oh, no.
trying to get out of
Oh,
this. So
yeah,
now
yeah.
I moved from that to this. So now I live in Little Italy in a smaller building.
yeah.
Nobody talks
No
to
issues.
it. There's no,
No issues.
concierge,
Yeah, no
there's none of
issues.
that,
Yeah.
but no problems.
No problem.
So I think sometimes as you get in certain stages of your life, you do like less, you do like smaller, you do. So I think that's
We're
a
both
space.
wanting to be more and more in the wilderness and in the woods lately.
Okay.
So that's where the universe is pulling me.
So you gonna
More
build
land.
a whole community of these
Oh,
places?
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there?
That is
That's a
the
vision.
ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Where would you pick to go do it?
Well, we have some property that we're
So we
looking
are
at.
developing Mexico.
Yep.
Oh, really?
So by the yard,
Okay.
looking at a nice sized lot.
Mm-hmm.
There, a lot less restrictions. So, I mean, 5-6 Airbnbs, somewhere for me to stay, him to stay, when we're checking on the yard and on the projects.
Sure.
So that is the goal in Mexico, and then I would love to have all our different models up in the mountains of Montana.
Okay.
So
Dang.
with
Yeah, we have some property here too in San Diego that we're going to build out, that we are building out as we speak, and coming up with different plans. Different models are going to those properties too. So we've just got a lot of projects,
I mean, at the end of the day, you
a
could
lot of stuff going on.
you can essentially put 4 structures on your basic
Yep.
rubber stamp property.
Okay.
With, depending on the jurisdiction, an acre or 2. We have 10 acres in Ramona. You could do 2 single family, an ADU, junior ADU for each of them.
That's 6 places
So
total.
now
yeah.
you're getting up to 6.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Each property needs to be looked at and assessed at what you can maximize
I-
the value
I-
out of, right?
I
And that's-
live in Bonsall for free
Sure.
with the ADUs that I have.
Which would be
I mean,
cool.
that's, I think, a good goal for a lot of us, right? To live
Absolutely.
in a beautiful neighborhood on 2 acres out in the country, and the ADUs are paying, the mortgage and the utilities.
Right.
So there's so many different things. We just helped out a gal that didn't want to pay $3,000 in rent, so she bought a bedroom bath unit and
for
put it
$49K.
for $49K and put that on her brother's property.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's what I'm saying. There's so many
But that's
uses
her
for this.
workspace, so no need to permit that. It's where she works.
Got you.
It's just a bedroom, no bathroom, just bedroom for her to sleep in.
Right.
So-
Which most people,
Yeah,
that's what
with
they
an AC
want,
unit.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a lot of uses, a lot of opportunities.
So it doesn't
Tons.
have to have kitchen and all that stuff. It's almost like a studio.
It doesn't have to.
We can
depending-
customize
yeah.
in that respect.
Yeah.
Okay.
The inside we can customize.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then
She wanted our bedroom unit, but added the bath.
Gotcha.
We're doing the gal that wants the office. She just wants the
She
kitchen.
wants the bath in the other one.
She's doing the bedroom bath like we just did. And then her office model, she does want the kitchen, but just all that open
So
space.
we can kind of tweak
for
around the
her-
inside.
for her office.
Yeah.
So those customizations, fine. Stacking, sure, we're gonna come up with that design one
Telling
day.
you, bro,
but-
you could do like give like 4 or 5, move them all around. Have like almost. You ever seen the Skyway?
No, we need
before?
2-story. We need 2-story units. We get it.
Not even 2-story. You ever seen the Skyway before?
Skyway.
No.
Okay, so where I grew up in Minnesota, you be on the street, and then all the buildings are connected by a skyway. So there's
the little carts,
not a cart. It's like
like a tram.
almost if you think like a bridge with windows, so you don't go outside.
Okay.
So I'm walking across the street, and you guys are down there, and I'm looking at you, and you see me up in the windows.
Got it.
So I'm walking from this
Building
street
to building.
across,
Yeah.
and you never go outside.
Interesting.
So it's 60 below.
Yeah.
But you don't know because
Yeah.
you're just walking
Yeah,
through
you're
the skyway
inside.
system.
Yeah. Got
So what you guys could, I mean, you can keep this out. It's free.
Nice. Yeah.
But you could have one of your ADUs and then have some kind of like glass
Connector. Yeah.
that connects it to the other one.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they could just kind of even be in a circle or whatever way you want to do
100%.
it. And then have like a courtyard in the middle. And it's like a skyway system.
So many
but on the
beautiful
ground.
things we can do with these.
Right?
With these, yes. There's so many ideas.
Yeah,
That's a
so
good
then
one.
You got a bedroom or living room. Then you
Yeah, you
have
walk
this.
right into the skyway, into your bedroom.
Yeah.
Boom, right into the next.
Well, that's why we love Southern California. If you think about Mexico, the hacienda style, you do walk from your bedroom outside
Yeah,
to
to
the
the
kitchen.
kitchen.
So
Okay.
In-
with
indoor,
the
outdoor
containers,
living.
yeah, definitely Minnesota. You're not doing that in February.
No.
But here,
Uh-uh.
it's gotten a little chilly today.
Yeah.
But nothing like Minnesota.
Right.
So a breezeway, the
Right.
indoor-outdoor concept works out here.
Yeah, with
Absolutely.
decking. The decking all ties everything together. The
Okay.
deck. Yeah, you put a
But
deck.
yeah, our U
yeah.
model with a courtyard, fire pit in the middle, jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could
That's
even
Southern California
on the
living.
top put like patio stuff on top. Watch the sunrise,
You could,
sunset.
you could do the view deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are so many opportunities. If
But
you
that
have
U
actual,
model is 2-bedroom, studio, kitchen, bath, 125,000. Go find me a stick builder that'll do
No.
an ADU for that price.
Yeah, not. It's. I think they said at least 320 is the cost for one,
Right.
depending on what it is. But the stick builder friends I have that do it, they say the reason why it costs more is because it's like a miniature version of your home, so it matches. But
Sure.
you know, depending on what you're trying to do,
Right.
everyone has different.
Everyone's got different goals. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I distinctly say like it's not one size fits everyone, and I want to make sure everyone has the information
100%.
of everything so that they could do what works for them.
That's how you can make an educated decision.
Right.
That's the right way to
Well,
do it.
and you think about it, on the property where our prototype is, every time I go there, I'm looking at the wood, the fascia, the roof that I have to replace.
On the other part of the house.
On the
house.
on the
On the
other
existing
ADU,
structure.
on the existing house.
Yeah.
And then I look at the container. I'm like, I ain't got to.
It's never going to
I
nothing.
don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So fire, water, these things are coming from China,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Massive oceans, swells.
Oh, they're stacked on top of each other, 12
They're
high too.
stacked. So they're
coming across the
they're
Arctic
made
Ocean,
for
every
all these
ocean.
conditions. So whether you're in the mountains in Big Bear, you got a heavy snow load,
Yeah.
right? We're working with a customer up there that
Yeah.
wants our container look for Big Bear. But these are so ideal for the fire
Yeah.
zones.
Yeah. If there's any issues with that, that's definitely something.
Yep.
That's why stucco, tile roof, that's all evolved for our fire
Right.
hazards. The container's perfect.
Yeah.
There is no wood.
Yeah. No, it's definitely weatherproof, safety, all those things are important. And then you guys said you put on a slab so it won't fly away like in Florida, right?
It won't fly away.
It's not flying away. Even if you don't secure it, it's not
Okay.
flying away. But to get your final permit, you've got to secure it to the slab. Some are doing post and pier.
Okay.
So you can do pier, slab. That's purely up to the client, what they prefer.
Right.
Yep.
Foundation, sewer, septic. We're doing an incinerator toilet, so we have some off-grid options that I think are neat.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Off the grid.
We can
Yep.
go. We can go hippie
Yeah,
on
we
you.
can go up. We can go off the grid. We have solar
You got
experience.
solar.
Yep. Battery.
You know, build a whole bunch for Kanye West.
Oh. Yeah, I think he's out in Wyoming. Right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be interesting. Is there anything that we didn't cover that before we end the episode?
No, I think just if you want to take a look at the site, we're at www.swanflats.com. You can reach either one of us at david@swanflats.com or jason@swanflats.com.
Okay.
Submit a form online. We'll answer quickly and answer any questions and just educate. We come from an educational standpoint, so we educate, and if it's a good fit, it's a good fit. If not, hey, it's not.
I learned a lot from you guys. It definitely opened my eyes as far as what's available, what your options are, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
We appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So in the words of Dr. Dre, just chill till the next episode, and it's a wrap. Leo.